I'm making this as generic as possible, as easy to understand and digest as possible. China has systems by which it can do all of that, and now it's creating systems here by which it can also fire retaliatory missiles from the land itself. If you look at this map, so this is the octagon-shaped thing that they are talking about, but why did Pakistan respond after 18 years? So China is building warheads 10 times faster than India. But India is hiding facts. This is what the Chinese are saying. China is pumping in billions upon billions of dollars to expand its military capabilities, be it on land, sea, air, and even space. Today we're going to talk about China's nuclear missiles. What exactly do they want? And when China says that by 2030 they want to have 1,000 nuclear warheads, what is the reason behind that? Hi, I'm Major Gaurav Arya. You're watching Open Collar. 80 launch pads, 3 octagon-shaped installations. Satellite images show alarming Chinese buildup near nuclear silos. So this is what they're talking about, this octagonal shape. And deep in China's remote desert, a massive military construction project is underway that experts believe is aimed at ensuring the country can still launch a nuclear response even if its nuclear facilities are attacked first by the United States. Now, this has been reported by Reuters. The thing is that they want on-land second strike capability. I'm making this as generic as possible, as easy to understand and digest as possible. Right? So China has nuclear submarines. China has bombers that are capable of firing a nuclear weapon, of shooting a nuclear weapon, and China has ground-based nuclear weapons also, which are intercontinental ballistic missiles or intermediate range ballistic missiles or cruise missiles and other things. But here what we're talking about is that China says near its populated areas or near its military installations, if its nuclear response capability is damaged or absent, China has locations which are far away from the previous location so that China can still strike back. That is what China is aiming for. And there is massive construction going on. China already possesses missiles capable of reaching anywhere in the US. However, newly reviewed satellite images show Beijing is significantly strengthening the infrastructure that supports its nuclear missile force. The launch pads could be used by mobile missile launchers and air defense systems, while the larger facilities may support communications, electronic warfare, and military command functions. According to security analysts who reviewed the imagery, experts say that the scale of the construction suggests China is creating a far more resilient network for its land-based nuclear forces. This is what I said, land-based. So when we generally speak about second strike capability, we say, okay, India has, let us say, nuclear submarines, which can do the job. Or Russia has nuclear submarines, or America or China has nuclear submarines that can do the job. So if the land is under threat, you launch from the water. China has systems by which it can do all of that, and now it's creating systems here by which it can also fire retaliatory missiles from the land itself. The goal appears to be ensuring that China's nuclear arsenal remains operational even if some facilities are destroyed in the first strike. So this is a land-based second strike that China is talking about here. Why is China building launch pads near its nuclear missile silos? And what do satellite images reveal about sites with over 80 launch pads? So they say that satellite images reviewed by Reuters reveal a sprawling system of launch pads, bunkers, communication facilities, and support structures near China's nuclear missile silos in Xinjiang and Gansu. China has long maintained a policy of keeping relatively small but credible nuclear deterrent. The country's nuclear strategy is based on its ability to respond to a nuclear attack rather than launch one first. So, like India has no first use policy. China follows the same policy, no first use. China says we must have a credible response in place, a nuclear response in place, should we be attacked by an enemy power, in this case, the United States of America. China's nuclear arsenal has been expanding rapidly in the recent years. According to the latest Pentagon assessment cited by Reuters, China is expected to possess around 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030. So this is the layout of what China wishes to do. 1,000 nuclear warheads in the shape of missiles, be they cruise missiles, IRBMs, ICBMs, more than 1,000 in the next 4 years. The report also estimates that approximately 100 ICBMs have already been deployed across China's 3 main missile silo fields. So if you look at this map here, you'll see short-range ballistic missiles, SRBM. This is the DF-11A, DF-15B. Medium range in this orange color is the medium range. So this is this entire thing here. This is this entire thing here. And intermediate range ballistic missiles is this. And then, of course, you have your intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? What India is doing in this regard is something very different. Of course, we also have our nuclear capabilities, but India is arming countries which have some sort of a dispute, mostly territorial, be it land or maritime, with China. India sold the BrahMos missile systems. It has sold it to Vietnam very recently. Before that, it was the Philippines. And now, apparently, Indonesia is wanting the BrahMos missiles. The BrahMos capacity is increasing. The range is increasing. The speed is increasing. What we saw in Operation Sindoor was roughly 3 Mach to 3.5 Mach. What India is building now, going further, is more than 5 Mach. So you have a hypersonic cruise missile which can go up to 900 or 1,000 kilometers. That is the strike capacity and capability of a BrahMos, or will be in the coming years. Never seen anything like it. Satellite pics show China's build-up near nuke silos. Analysts view the construction as part of China's broader effort to strengthen its second strike capability. The ability to launch a retaliatory nuclear attack after absorbing an enemy strike at the heart of the new network are 2 large octagon-shaped military facilities built over the past 6 years in eastern Xinjiang. One lies roughly 140 kilometers southwest of the Hami silo field, while the second is located about 230 kilometers away. Now, you see this area, if you look at this map, I'll come back to this text here later. If you look at this map, so this is the octagon-shaped thing that they're talking about. But if you look at this map of China, so this is Tibet. This part is Tibet, right? And then you have Tajikistan, then you have Afghanistan. If you look at the map of Afghanistan, you'll see that north of Kabul is Bagram. And that is what the Pakistanis had promised the Americans, which is why there is violence going on between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan says that, they're striking deep inside the Afghan heartland simply because the Afghans support the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is attacking Pakistan. It's a terror outfit. It's attacking Pakistan. Afghans won't listen, so we are attacking the Afghans in retaliation. That is what Pakistan claims. But the TTP has been attacking Pakistan for nearly 18 to 19 years now. There's nothing new in the TTP attacking Pakistan. Why did Pakistan respond after 18 years? Why not when the TTP was created? Why no strikes deep in the Afghan heartland? Why not earlier? Why today? Why now? Simply because Donald Trump wants Bagram. And if you look at all of this, it's natural for Donald Trump to want Bagram. He can't have it. That's another question. But he wants Bagram because Bagram is not very far from these areas. So the Northwest Nuclear Technology Institute, Lopnor Nuclear Weapon Test Site. Lopnor is the place where, like we have Pokhran, the Chinese have Lopnor. And all these places where they have their nuclear assets in place, possible warhead assembly and production facility. This is here. And DF-3A, DF-21A. DF is Dongfeng. It is the missile series. The southern octagon is connected to a broader logistics network that includes railway lines, a rail terminal, fuels storage facilities, and reinforced underground structures. According to the Pentagon, the country's Huyan-1 satellite network can detect incoming intercontinental ballistic missile within roughly 90 seconds of launch and can transmit warnings to command centers within minutes. Meanwhile, a third octagon-shaped installation located near the Lopnor nuclear test site appears to serve a different purpose. Satellite images show damaged structures, cratered terrain, and mock-ups of Western fighter aircraft, leading analysts to conclude that the area is likely being used as a military target range. So this is Lopnor, this area. And this is where the Chinese go and they have mock Western planes, mock American planes, right? And this is where the Chinese do all their testing, right here. China's expanding nuclear capabilities, implications for India's response. China finished the development and operationalization of its new fast breeder reactors, the CFR 600, which receive Russian fuel support. This assistance will substantially augment the country's weapons-grade plutonium inventory. Russia started shipping out the initial fuel load in late December 2022. So Russia is giving material to China. FBRs are crucial because they produce more plutonium and fissile material than they consume during power generation. This is exactly what India did 2 months back. You must have read in the news that now fast breeder reactors, thorium and all of that, you would have heard it in the news. I'm not going to repeat it here. India will need to reconsider its glacial accumulation of atomic weapons to reach a target of 680 to 800 weapons by 2036. India's warhead numbers increased by an average of nearly 100 warheads annually over the same period, while India's stock increased by an average of 10 warheads. So China is building warheads 10 times faster than India. 10 times faster. So this is how it stands today. Russia has 5,459 warheads. When I say warheads, I mean nuclear warheads. US has 5,277. China has 600. France has 290. The UK has 225. India has 180. Pakistan has 170. Israel 90. And North Korea 50. So this is how the nuclear warheads stack up. A total of 12,187 warheads in the world. India remains in the testing phase of its hypersonic missile capabilities. So we are still testing it, and they are a few years down the line. I mean, before they can be given to the Army, Navy, or the Air Force to use, before they can be embedded in the armed forces, so to say. The hypersonic cruise missile has completed a 1,000-second test, but it's still awaiting government approval. I don't like these lines at all. Awaiting government approval. I mean, just go give the approval and go ahead, because if you need it, then you need it. There is no point in being bureaucratic about nuclear weapons. More crucially, even after clearance, it is likely to take 7 years before being fully operationalized. An Indian HGV. Now, this is a glide vehicle. This is different. The HGV capability is at a more advanced stage, having undergone an initial developmental trial and is expected to be inducted in 2 or 3 years. Following additional trials beyond hypersonic missiles already under development, India will need, at a minimum, to place a higher premium on 3 sets of capabilities: sensors, missile defense against hypersonic missiles, and the subservice leg of its nuclear forces. We are assuming that all these, whether it's the hypersonic glide vehicle, or we're talking about the HCM, the cruise missile, all of them are nuclear capable. That is the assumption here. India is in possession of the Swordfish long-range tracking radar developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization, and the Bharat Electronics Limited, an active electronically scanned array, endows the Swordfish LRTR with the capability to detect missiles at a range of 1,500 kilometers or more, and forms the core element of India's BMD network. More such, like the INS Dhruv and INS Anvesh, surface vessels are required for tracking and intercepting ballistic and hypersonic missiles. Further, the future Project 18 class guided missile destroyers of the Indian Navy will be armed with sea-based BMD capabilities for the first time. So this is an infographic telling you about the Agni 5 missile, right? And this is the complete area that the Agni 5 covers, this huge red circle. This is what it roughly covers. That is what India is willing to admit. Many Chinese say that the Agni 5's range is not between 5,500 to 8,000 kilometers as claimed by India. They're saying it's much, much more, but India is hiding facts. This is what the Chinese are saying. Weight is 50,000 kilograms, speed 24 Mach, length 17.5 meters, engine 3-stage solid, nuclear warhead is 1.5 tons, and diameter is 2 meters. So this is what Agni 5 is doing. India is also speaking about Agni 6. There was a comment by DRDO saying that they're waiting for government approval and then they can go to Agni 6. They said that we have all the technology sorted out. All we need is a thumbs up from the government, and then we go all guns blazing for Agni 6. This is all that I have for you today in Open Caller. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you very soon with another special episode. Till then, Jai Hind.